Today, we're going to talk about one of the most powerful ideas from Miyamoto Musashi's classic, The Book of Five Rings. We're going to take this ancient, kind of provocative concept and turn it into a practical tool for modern life. It's all about the art of absolute clarity and learning how to wield your own mind with real precision. So let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? That pause between seeing what needs to be done and actually doing it? We tell ourselves we're just being careful, but let's be honest, hesitation is this hidden tax on our momentum. It creates a little crack in our resolve, just enough space for doubt to sneak in, and it totally drains our energy.
So in this explainer, we're going to unpack that hidden cost. Then we'll introduce this powerful metaphor from Musashi and break it down into three core pieces: will, mood, and presence. After that, we'll see how this all works in daily life, and we'll finish up with a super simple reset you can use anytime, anywhere. Okay, so let's start by really getting a handle on the problem we're trying to solve. What's actually happening in our minds when we hesitate? See, it's so much more than just a delay. Think of it like a hairline fracture between what you observe and what you resolve to do. It's in that gap that we start to overthink, we second guess, and we let our own fears kind of take the wheel. This is the exact friction that Musashi taught his students to get rid of, to find that unclouded mind. So how do we close that gap between seeing and doing? Well, the answer lies in this incredible mental model. It's called the killing sword. Now, right away, let's be clear. This has nothing to do with physical violence. It is purely a metaphor for a state of mind. Musashi believed that to act effectively, your mind has to be, in his words, unblemished, just open, direct, and totally free from the tension of indecision. So the killing sword is really the intention to see things clearly and act on them with purpose. This is all about wielding the sword of your own mind to make a clean cut, right through all the noise, the excuses, and the mental fog that leads to inaction. It's about a firm commitment to act with real purpose. Okay, so how do we actually build this mindset? Well, the whole philosophy breaks down beautifully into three interconnected pillars: will, mood, and presence. And you should think of these not as three separate skills you have to learn, but more like an integrated system. Your will gives you the direction, your mood provides the emotional stability, and your presence, well, that's the calm authority you get when you've mastered the first two. Your will is the engine. It's the practice of putting a clear purpose into every single thing you do. When you decide on something, you commit to it 100%. No regrets, no second guessing. You just stand firm in that decision, totally unshaken by whatever's happening around you. This quote from Musashi just perfectly captures the second pillar, mood. The whole goal here is to govern your emotions, not be ruled by them. As he taught, you can't let things like fear or anger dictate your actions. It's about developing this sense of calm intensity, a state where you're totally composed under pressure and you can make rational, deliberate moves. And finally, we have presence. And this is not about being the loudest person in the room. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's a state of being so settled, so unbiased, that you can command a situation without ever using force. It comes naturally from having a clear will and a governed mood, and it lets you see reality for what it is and act effectively. All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's walk through a few real-world situations. So at work, it might be making a firm decision in a meeting with the info you have, instead of getting stuck in analysis paralysis. In your relationships, it could be setting a kind but clear boundary, rather than just letting resentment build up. And with your habits, it's about committing cleanly to one new thing and silencing that inner voice that's always making excuses. You see, in every case, the principle is the same: decisive clarity. And you know, the best part is, you can start building this mental muscle right away. Here's a really simple, actionable practice you can use to interrupt hesitation the moment it pops up. Let's call this the clarity cut reset. When you feel yourself getting stuck, first, just pause. Take one single deep breath. Second, identify the one action that matters most right now. And third, commit to it. Act immediately. This simple little sequence breaks that pattern of doubt and starts to build momentum. So, we've taken this ancient idea and turned it into a modern tool. Let's do a quick recap of the key takeaways just to make sure they stick. So remember, hesitation isn't just waiting. It's a breakdown in your resolve. The killing sword is your way to fix that. It's a metaphor for that decisive mental clarity. And you build that clarity by developing your will, governing your mood, and cultivating your presence. You can apply this mindset everywhere, and you can start today with that simple clarity cut reset. When you can resolutely accept what needs to be done, your mind becomes truly free. Free to act, free to create, and free to engage with life head on. Your mind is your sharpest weapon. The only question is, how will you choose to wield it?